replay, please type in replay and then ask any questions you have at all. But I'm really glad you guys are joining me on these. I want to go over the Wing Chun Pak Da drill. And sometimes I like talking about these as talking because you, as the person who are watching the video content, you're forced to listen and process instead of watching us do on people. I mean, I could save this instruction for the next class and then show you, but I want you to process it. By now, a lot of people know what the Wing Chun Pak Da drill means, and that's the Pak Sao or Da punch. Typically what it was, and you saw the last video we put up with Christina, Carl, myself, and Jimmy, it's the patty cake drill, right? A lot of people see it in Wing Chun and they're like, oh, they're playing patty cake. Here's what a couple of things that it is, and I want you guys to take notes on these, think about this, obviously comment and question, but it's always brilliant. Every time I do the drill that I haven't done in years or teach to a new person, I keep remembering there's so many things that happens. Number one, it's not about speed, and we like to go fast, but it's not about speed. It's a self-perfection drill, regardless of what anybody thinks. The progression of Wing Chun is anytime you do a form or an air drill, you're learning the alphabet, right? You're learning the alphabet and you're learning words, right? My tan punch, my bong, my turning punch, my pak strike, everything is, okay, I'm learning words, my ABCs, and how to take those ABCs into words. And if we break it down a little bit more, we could say that the forms are the alphabet, the air drills, no contact whatsoever with people, those are the forming of the words. And then when we do partner drills like Pak Da, or you feed me energy and I tan strike, oh look, I'm learning the energy for my tan sao, where my strike goes. That's forming sentences. When we get to Chi Sao is having a conversation with somebody. And then when you're in a fight, that's a monologue. That's not a dialogue. That's you telling the story. So you got to think of the progression of that. Forms, that's your alphabet. Air drills, that's your learning of words. Partner drills where contact is made, that's forming a sentence. And then Chi Sao is a conversation, it's a back and forth. And a fight is you. You are dictating the story, right? You're not having a conversation at that point. You're the one who's laying down the law, and you're the one who's giving the monologue and telling what's going on. When it comes to the Pak Da drill, a couple different things that you're seeing. Number one, there's an always and there's a free flow. If we're going with the always aspect of it, I would like everybody out there to stick with the punching hand being the right hand and the pak being the left hand. Doesn't mean you could switch it, you can't switch it. There are transitions, but in the initial stages of learning, that's where I would like to allow my students to be at. The punch hand always dictates the movement. So when somebody punches and they've got their hand here, a couple different things, as you're never looking at like I'm anticipating or I'm waiting for the partner to do anything. Everything is me. It's me. It's basically an air drill with a partner. So what I mean by that is I'm learning my balance. When I punch and somebody stops my punch with a pak sao, that energy is expended. So my body structure is going to be rocked back if I'm too hard, or if I'm too soft, I'm gonna violate my own structure and center line. So what you're learning in the process, number one, is to take energy at a punch. You keep your center line. You always want to dominate center line. So again, there's so many things. I wish I could write this down because you have a laundry list of what these things are. You're taking center line, you're putting it forward. Two objects can't occupy the same space at the same time. So somebody stops your punch. And again, I was talking to Christina last night on that, if you turn your energy on like crazy, you're giving somebody a lever to move all over. You want to punch, and I used to use this analogy, it's like the round of an ammunition of a gun being shot. Once that round is done, it's done. You're not keeping your finger squeezed in the trigger like it's going to give more power to the round. The round's done. It's gone. It's gone down range. You fire your round down range. Once it meets resistance, you turn it off. You turn it off. You're the gun. You're the handle. You're the barrel, right? The energy comes from within you, and it's expunged out of the intent of your weapon. Once that contact is made, you turn it off. A couple different things. It's teaching you about your balance and how to not rock back and forth, how to stay rooted, and how to be more pliable like bamboo once energy is met. The second thing is once that contact is made, it's giving you information about when they're going to punch. Because if this is this movement, remember, if I pak your hand and this is my next one's going to punch, I have to bring this off in order to fire this forward. So I'm going to do this movement. Even if I do this and punch, you still know that it's going to be a beat behind the movement because we always attack center line. So the covering hand of the pak sao is what's telling your partner when you're going to punch, and it's definitely not this, it's over the top. So I punch, somebody covers my hand with pak sao, visualize this. I know that they're going to punch next because they have the right hand, so that means that my hand's ready to go, and all I do is go straight forward. I cover that center. And again, my pak sao has to meet force. Am I grabbing? Do I have a thumbless grab? I tell people pak sao should be like a wet blanket, just a wet towel adhering an object. So the punch is, the strike is gone forward in pak sao. You do not pak to the side, you don't pak down, you pak straight in, because what if their punch was a hook punch? Then you'd go straight in, you would beat them to the punch, so to speak, of their center line. So your pak sao covers, once it hits that object, it doesn't fight it, it relaxes. It picks up that information. It's telling me when I'm going to go next. And the more relaxed you are, the more you can fire. Being relaxed too prevents you from turning your shoulders too much into the movement, gives you your proper distance. Remember the first form, the defining center fighting line gives us our distance of how far we should be away from our bodies, which means that all the movement in Wing Chun is done with your stance, which tells you that's why we shouldn't be taken down. Most everybody who's taken down with Wing Chun from a grappler, they don't. It's not because of their footwork, so to speak. It's because they don't understand their structure. And the structure is everything. You want to stay on your feet. So our hands are what's keeping our structure intact, and it's like a waltz, right? If you're dancing with a partner, you're not going to move them first and then move your structure, or move your structure and then move you. You're going to move them together in true time. One of the things that we like to talk about is true time and false time. One of my teachers was very infamous on time of the hand, time of the body, time of the foot, and he used to base that off of sword fighting with rapiers. And he was incorrect in this. He tried to bring something in which didn't make sense. A year's worth of teaching, and I told this to my students last night, my teacher used to have us do a turning punch. And for a year, he used to have us turn with a punch. So you turn your turning punch, but he used to have us put all of our intent in our fist, kick that fist off first, and then turn our body into the punch. A year. A class, you go, remember, turn. Intent in the hand, time of the body, time of the foot, time of the hand, time of the body, okay. And so for a year, a lot of us were trying to master launching with our hand first and putting our body weight behind it. And the analogy is like if you get a whip, the whip's energy is created from the handle. You flick the handle, the shock wave is sent down the whip and then out the tip. That's where the boom is at. So you don't pick the tip up, throw it, and then try to crack it. And we tried to do that, and we really messed up our punches. And after a year, we started to do punches in class, and he goes, remember, time of the foot, time of the body, time of the hand. And we're like, Sifu, not for nothing, but you've been saying time of the foot, time of the hand, time of the body, time of the foot. I know what I've been saying. Bottom line is he got a year's worth of tuition out of us by screwing us up, and that wasn't fair. The concept that he was trying to achieve but he couldn't achieve is true time and false time. You don't want to telegraph your punch going forward by turning or stepping with your feet, putting your body into it, and then putting your punch out, because you'll be dead in the water, because any fighter can wind up either feeling the moving forward. So you want to negate as much time possible and have true time. Everything moves in unison. Time of the foot, time of the body, time of the hand, explosively, all coming out at once. And these partner drills do that by giving you all this you're firing everything off, and you're learning how to move to prevent you from being taken down. A couple other aspects of the pak da drill, you have to be selfish of that center line, because when you don't violate center line to give your partner better training down the middle. You should be taking the center line all the time, which in that case of it, your partner's fighting for center line, and it's a constant struggle because two objects can't occupy the same space at the same time. Again, these drills were kind of incepted so that two people the same size and height would be able to do them. But what happens when you train somebody who's 5'7" and a guy who's 6'2"? There's going to be a constant manipulation and moving of, I'm too close, I'm too far away, and you should be making those little adjustments as you go. So there's nothing wrong when it comes down to making the adjustments in the pak da drill. As I know some people still stay in their Wing Chun Yi Ji Kim Young Ma stance. You can, that's fine. But in essence, the pak da drill is not about speed. It's not about power. It's about energy firing the energy on, learning that once resistance is met, turning it off so that the other side of your body is like, oh, okay, now I know when to go. Now I know when to pick up activity to stop that. Coming back in, how the energy is absorbed into your body, putting it back down and rooting into the ground, and you applying it for your next motion, your next punch or your next pok. Punch, pok. And also, over time, try not to get two things you shouldn't do is 1, 2, 1, 2, and you shouldn't go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Because when you do that, you're just matching patty cake. I think a moderate pace of, you're feeling it. You shouldn't move that, and to see who's actually doing the movement. I think it's always better for a senior student to punch and then stop, and then wait, not fire that punch again, to see if your partner, the novice student, is throwing a punch or throwing a pot down yet. Because you say, hey, listen, you didn't wait for the energy to be fed towards you. Closing your eyes is good for it too, because it takes away fear of an attack coming in, or a domination of center line needed. But a lot of people who they see the Pak Da drill, especially in Wing Chun, they don't know how to do it right. And I'm not ripping on anybody, but I am giving my 2 cents. Like Jeet Kune Do is infamous for it. Jeet Kune Do, they just do the drill for the sequence. They're not learning the basics of it for this is why you're absorbing the energy into you and then expelling it out, and then understanding how your body mechanics work. I keep saying it from the beginning, if Jeet Kune Do really understood the true essence of Wing Chun, they really wouldn't need anything else. The number one problem in Wing Chun, to be honest, is going to be that entry. But we're not fighting in a competitive style, right? It's not going to be in this corner is so-and-so, in this corner is so-and-so, and then let's get it on, So it's not a cop-out of my question. Say, well, Wing Chun doesn't work in MMA. Oh, of course it does. How are you going to bridge that gap? Maybe you're going to take a hit. Maybe you're going to just step in deeper. Wing Chun works in a clinch. Wing Chun works at a distance. Wing Chun works in grappling space. It really does. It has to be taken seriously and really rooted on the self-exploration and the self-perfection drill instead of chasing hands, which is the number one aspect and problem that we have in Wing Chun. So you're not chasing hands. You really need to look back at that. Pak Da drill is so much. It is huge. You could spend a ton of time on it and still be like, damn, I haven't mastered this yet. And there is no mastering of it, but I want to come over just some class notes of what Pak Da drill really is. I want to be doing these more with you, explaining what we're doing in class, where we're going, and see your comments in the comment section and answer those and get involved with you. Thanks much. I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a great day.